So morning, everyone, on this Wednesday, the 4th of September. It's lovely to have many of you in person, online. I always love that, especially if I can see your faces, but just seeing your names is lovely too. I know how mornings are, and it's just lovely to have you in the space. And then for those who are listening later, welcome to. If you ever want to put anything in the comments or share anything on our WhatsApp group chat or anything, you're more than welcome to, just because it really does inspire other people to listen, and hopefully we create a positive energy from there. So it's yesterday, the 3rd of September, well, between the 2nd and 3rd of September was the new moon in Virgo. And we're going to talk a little bit about Virgo in a moment and all that embodies. But from now, the end of August to the 19th of September, I don't quite understand it all. There's a last gasp of Uranus happening. And I often talk about Pam Gregory. If you listen to the first 5 minutes of her talk, which is on this, I'll tell you which one it is. It is the last transit of Pluto in Capricorn. So if you listen to the first 5 minutes of that, she explains that this time we're going to have very sudden, unexpected news, shocking events, things coming out of the blue. So that can be secrets. It can be like secrets exposed, people exposed. It can be sudden changes in weather patterns, very unexpected, and it can be shocking news. And we have in the Midlands area and in the my class community had very shocking news, and it's a sort of such shocking news that it reverberates, I think, through the whole of South Africa. And that was that the Brynamore family were tragically killed on their way leaving just an ordinary rugby tournament on Saturday afternoon. There were 4 of them in the car, and the parents and the oldest son, who was at my class in E Block in grade 8, were killed instantly, hitting a head-on collision. There were 11 people killed instantly. And the one young boy, Harry, Hopi, I gather his name is in ICU right here at Hilton Life Hospital, recovering from severe abdominal injury from his seatbelt. And so as we start this mindful moment, I really just want to hold Hopi and Harry and his family, Garth and his parents, in our heart space, and the whole Michael House community, the whole DPHS community, as they navigate what is so shocking that it's not really believable, and yet it's true. And for people to pick up the pieces of these lives in our lives. So I just really send my love and condolences to the Finnemore family and extended family and friends, and we're going to hold them very closely in our hearts through this mindful moment. I'm sure you'll join me in that. So the new moon in Virgo is all about, every new moon is a time for setting intentions and planting seeds. And you do it not just before the new moon, it's just after the new moon, which is now. It's on the new moon or just after that we plant our seeds. And so today is a lovely time for us to planting seeds of intention. And it's the new moon in Virgo, which is the last new moon before the eclipse cycle starts in 2 weeks' time. And Virgo is all about health and healing and separating the weeds from the chaff, being able to separate what's true for you, what's right for you, finding out, cutting through people, like cutting through who is helpful for me in my life, and who is supportive, finding what's true, honoring the flow of our body, mind, soul, and spirit. So it's all about reconnecting with our body and soul and what feels good and what doesn't. Asking ourselves the questions: how do I feel after eating this? Am I drinking enough water? How does this feel in my body when someone tells me this? Is this true for me? Is this right for me? And so really learning to tap inwards. It's encouraging us to really tap inwards instead of looking externally for someone to be our hero, our healer, rather tapping inwards, because this is the only way our body keeps the score, and our body holds our truth, and sometimes our body says no, and really tapping into those messages. It's also an excellent new moon to detox, and it's asking us to take full responsibility, as I said, for our health and to be discerning, especially health-wise. Michelle McClulan, who I listen to get a lot of this information. She's a wonderful astrologer. I really encourage you to listen to her whole YouTube video. It was on the new moon in Virgo, and it's 20 minutes. And she says it's really to be discerning of what we are being told health-wise is coming to us. There's a lot in the media about another outbreak, another pandemic, another thing around monkeypox and things like that. And to really be discerning is this true? Is this true for us? Is this something I need to fear? And this time is also all about clearing out the old, the top-down governments and structures for the new to be reborn. We're still entering this age of Aquarius, where we're more concerned with humanity and the collective and power to the people. It's much more of a feminine energy of connection and collaboration rather than top-down masculine energy of control. And that's not to say men and women, it's masculine and feminine energy. We both have both within us. So, but when we have this, there is this last gasp of control. So there's an intensifying of control. We're going to see this intensifying of control in the next few months. An example of that is the founder of Telegram, and the Telegram platform. Many of us opted into Telegram during COVID times because it allowed for far more free speech, free stuff to be shared, far less controlled, far less, spied on, whatever it was. And the founder was arrested in France recently, this month. And that's a perfect example of a last gasp of top-down control. So many of the top-down control structures that we know so well, even royalties, a lot of the bigger corporations, things like that, that's going to be crumbling. But before that, we're going to be seeing this last gasp attempt. And the age of Aquarius reminds us that we're co-creators of our reality and that everything is frequency. And it really encourages us to also take assistance from the cosmos, from Mother Nature, from what's happening astrologically to support us, because it's all about releasing old patterns. And so with that, I'm delighted to share the news that our spring shed is coming. Many of you did the spring shed before. We've run it for 2 years before. It's all about detoxing, cleansing, and then setting up new habits, new things that are supportive in a feminine energy way of collaboration and connection. And we are so excited for it. So we'll be sending out information about it this week. So keep a lookout in groups and on Instagram. And it's very exciting. And it's just, when I was listening to Michelle McClulan and Pam Gregory, the timing of it is just so incredible. It feels like we will be really supported and held by Mother Nature, by the cosmos, by the universe, by God. And so all of us live busy lives. And at the moment, there's an intensity in our lives that is beyond anything. I mean, we're kind of reeling. There's so much. And so there's never a good time, certainly never a perfect time to do anything like this. But it's about learning, and this is what we'll be doing a lot in the spiritual shape, bringing ourselves back to ourselves. It's what we do in our mindful moments, learning to drop into our bodies, to feel what's right for us, learning to ground ourselves, learning to calm ourselves, and bringing more of the sacred into life. Like, what is sacred, and how do we make life more sacred? How do we bring the rituals? How do we bring more consciousness to what we're doing? Our lighting of candles, creating a little altar of the things we love that are important to us, that remind us about our core beliefs and our values, and our, like, standing barefoot on the grass, having the sun on our skin, drinking our cup of tea in a sacred manner. How do we bring back some of that? Gazing at the moon and the stars. So Virgo really does ask us, what am I focusing on? And we are all about creating our reality, and we have the control to do this. So, as I said, the spring shed starts on the 30th of September. It's just starting at the next new moon and going into the following full moon. So it's a beautiful time. But we're doing sign up and registration by the 24th of September. So look out for information on that. Love you to join us. And then this poem just felt so aligned. I mean, the poem came to me before a lot of what I was going to be talking about. And then, in fact, Michelle McClulan talked about not looking for the hero or the healer outside ourselves. And this was already the poem that we were choosing. So I mean, if you've been around for a while, you know it's one of my favorites. I know it's one of many of your favorites too. But I just invite you to pause, perhaps to uncross your legs, ground your feet on the floor. Just settle into your chair and adopt in a position that is upright and expansive. Not a harsh holding, but just an openness, bringing an upright dignity to this practice. And I invite you just to take a few breaths to ground and allow your attention to settle into your body. And then lower your eyes or close your eyes, lower your gaze, and just allow this poem or this passage to land. It's called A Hopi Elder Speaks. You've been telling the people that this is the 11th hour. Now you must go back and tell the people that this is the hour. There are things to be considered. Where are you living? What are you doing? What are your relationships? Are you in right relation? Where is your water? Know your garden. It is time to speak your truth. Create your community. Be good to each other. And do not look outside yourself for the leader. Then he clasped his hands together, smiled, and said, "This could be a good time. There's a river flowing now very fast. It is so great and swift that there are those who will feel afraid. They will try to hold on to the shore. They will feel that they are torn apart and will suffer greatly. No, the river has its destination. The elders say we must let go of the shore, push off into the middle of the river, keep our eyes open and our heads above water. And I say, see who is in there with you and celebrate. At this time in history, we are to take nothing personally, least of all ourselves. For the moment that we do, our spiritual growth and journey comes to a halt. The time for the lone wolf is over. Gather yourselves. Banish the word struggle from your attitude and your vocabulary. All that we do now must be done in a sacred manner and in celebration. We are the ones we've been waiting for." Allowing these words to settle on and in our bodies as we settle in our bodies. Each breath inviting our attention to land in our body like a leaf that drifts down slowly and lands on the surface of a pond. Just feeling into our feet grounding on the earth. Points of connection between our feet and our shoes or our feet and the floor. And just allowing for a sinking or heaviness. So that we are supported by the earth and that we receive that support from the earth. And then allowing our attention to drift up into our seat, on our cushion or our chair. And just feeling into points of contact here between our thighs, our hips, our pelvis. And feeling into a settling in this area, a grounding into our seat. A settling into our seats, and then actively receiving the support from our seats. And then drifting up further to our shoulders, our head, our neck. And just allowing an opening, inviting an opening and expansiveness, just as we invite our shoulders just to release a little bit. Just to let go of whatever holding we may find there. And invite a gentle softening into our shoulders, our neck, our face. And feeding into our head's connection with the sky, the heavens above us. And receiving that support from the sky, the heavens, the cosmos from above. Allowing it to flow down into our body. And bringing that energy from above, perhaps it has a light, a color, perhaps it has a texture, just noticing how it feels as it enters through the top of our head and floods down through our bodies. Just bringing it especially into our heart space. And heart space can be where you know your heart is, can be the middle of your chest, your lungs. If you want to rest your hands in this area just to kind of call it in, you can do that. Whatever feels right for you in this moment. And noticing how this light settles in your heart space. And inviting a sense of gratitude as we do so. Just gratitude. It doesn't have to be for anything or anyone, or any situation. It's just connecting with the feeling of gratitude in your body. And noticing as you do so whether this expands, this color, this light, this warmth. And just allowing it to expand if it does. Just gratitude for this breath, for this moment of being. And noticing as we feed this sensation of gratitude, how it might grow and strengthen and expand. It may even start expanding through our bodies as if pumped by our heart through our blood vessels, our arteries, our arterioles, to our capillaries, Just slowly following it out as it expands and as it strengthens. Feeling it right into the tips of our fingers, the pads of our fingertips, wrapping around every hair in our body. These tiny capillaries that feed our skin, our hair, our nerves. So that we feel ourselves bathed in gratitude, bathed in light, in connection, in love. When our minds start to wander, because they will, just gently bringing them back to this feeling of gratitude, the sensation of light, warmth that radiates through our bodies and even permeates our skin and radiates out into the world. Connecting us to each other wherever we may be, and connecting us to others. And if there's someone in your life that comes to mind or comes to heart that you want to share this healing light with, this deep love, this deep connection, just inviting them into your heart space and wrapping them in this like you would wrap a child in a blanket. Not going into thoughts of making it better, just holding them here in our heart space. Just encasing them, shrouding them with love, this blanket of warmth and love and connection. And then slowly letting go of this image of them, like we might let go of a balloon, and gently watch it drift up towards the heavens, praying for the highest possible outcome for this person or situation. With our limited minds, we have no idea of how that looks, but just praying for the highest possible outcome. And just allowing your breath and your attention to settle back in your heart space. And just pausing here for the last few moments. You've been telling the people that this is the 11th hour. Now you must go back and tell people that this is the hour. And there are things to be considered. Where are you living? What are you doing? What are your relationships? Are you in right relation? Where is your water? Know your garden. It is time to speak your truth. Create your community. Be good to each other. And do not look outside yourself for the leader. Then he clasped his hands together, smiled, and said, "This could be a good time. There's a river flowing now very fast. It is so great and swift that there are those who will be afraid. They will try to hold on to the shore. They will feel they are torn apart, and they will suffer greatly. Know that the river has a destination. The elders say we must let go of the shore, push off into the middle of the river, Keep our eyes open and our heads above the water. And I say, see who is in there with you and celebrate. At this time in human history, we are to take nothing personally, least of all ourselves. For the moment that we do, our spiritual growth and journey comes to a halt. The time for the lone wolf is over. Gather yourselves. Banish the word struggle from your attitude and your vocabulary. All that we do must now be done in a sacred manner and in celebration. We are the ones we've been waiting for. And when you're ready, just taking a few breaths in and audibly sighing out, just the feeling of letting go. Slowly moving into your fingers, your toes, your wrists, your elbows, your shoulders, your knees, your hips. Just gently stretching and opening up your body. And when you're ready, opening up your eyes, taking in the colors, the lights, the room around you, seeing it as if for the first time, taking in the names and faces on our screens, seeing who is here with us. Thank you for sharing this time. So lovely to have you here, to be here. Please feel free to share this. I will post the recording in the Mindful Moments group, but it's always on my YouTube channel, and I put it on my website as soon as I can as well. And yeah, please feel free to share and look out for Spring Shed. Thank you, Jean-Marie. Nice to have you. And please feel free to unmute and to share anything that came up for you or anything that you are feeling or is on your heart. And then we hope to see you next week. You can also just sit and enjoy, bathe in the feelings of this moment. We don't have to do, we can just be. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Heidi. Lovely to have you here. Thanks, Angina. Oh, nice to have you back, Caroline. Yeah. Lovely to see you. Thank you, Sue. Yeah, these things align. It's incredible. I mean, when I chose the poem and then listened to Pam Gregory and Michelle McClulan, it's our Spring Shed, and there's just so much alignment, and it just feels like it's in flow, and there's the universe and God are really supporting us in this.
Thank you, Nikki.
Well, thank you, Joe.
Lovely to normally can't make it, and I nearly missed it because of that lovely serenity stick. It makes me sleep. And I woke up at 5 to 7.
Oh, Joe, oh my God, that makes my
stick.
heart happy. I just love that serenity stick. And can you imagine, it's the nicest gift to give a new mum for their little baby, or a mum who's struggling with sleeping babies. It's just magic in a little stick.
It is. And I love those last lines in your poem. We are the people we've been waiting for. We always waiting for something else.
Yeah,
I meant the poem you read.
Yeah, no, we are. And Joe, I'm definitely going to be in touch with you. I want to hear a little bit about some of your pilgrimages. I'm planning a pilgrimage of my own, and I know you've done some beautiful pilgrimages. So I look forward to chatting to you.
I'd love that.
Thank you. I look forward to that. I don't know when it will be, but I will be connecting with you. I'm planning on coming to Joburg more often, so maybe we can even do it in person, and maybe we can meet with Ruth in person.
Even better.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you.
Much love, everyone.
Bye-bye. Have a good day.
See you. Hope to see you all next week.